All right. So last time on the Curse of Strahd, our adventurers finally leaving the town of Valaki and venturing out to meet with the mysterious Rictavio at a tower somewhere near Lake Bartok, west of town. To begin your route on your sightseeing tour of Barovia, for arriving at the tower, you were quickly faced with a strange sensation as you approached, and an odd puzzle at the doorway. Quickly, our resident detective Sherlock Holmes his way into the building using a strange set of hand gestures before making his way through the door, where you were met with yet another puzzle. A single elevator run by 4 clay golems. Finally figuring out how to operate the elevator, you all began to climb on as it lifted you up further and further into the tower before being face to face with the now transformed Rictavio. Standing in front of you, this elderly human male who identified himself as Dr. Rudolf van Richten. So as the 4 of you stare, that giant saber-toothed cat curled up in one corner, eyeing you, while Van Richten himself sits in a chair overlooking a book, just barely aware of your presence. What do you do?
Can I go cuddle with the cat?
It's Dungeons and Dragons, man. You could try anything.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna go over and just like crawl his way over, and as he does, he's just gonna be talking over to Rictavio, or I guess Rudolph, and just be like, "So, you're gonna actually tell us everything about what's going on here with you, or are you just going to?"
How about all 4 of you make a history check for me?
Fine.
History.
I'm excited.
One day I'm going to make a character who can roll history.
Yeah.
Not this
7.
campaign.
No.
16.
Yeah, 16.
With the 2 16s, both of you are aware of the name Van Richten. If monsters are scary stories that parents tell their children to behave at night, Van Richten is the scary story monsters tell their children. He is a legend of the monster hunting variety. Stories have permeated about him through all the realms. I mean, you've read a guide specifically about monsters written by him, Tensveta. Durango, you've heard, obviously, through their bardic colleges and everything else, you've heard story after story and tale of the heroism and the viciousness of Rudolf van Richten. And as this relatively frail-looking elderly man sits and turns to you, Tens, that moment of realization kicks in, and it is
He stops like mid crawl towards the cat. Huh.
I'm sorry, what is going on? With which part? Where do you wish me to begin?
Well, considering that you're a Van Richten, and you know, monsters are scared of you, and we're, I guess, now that I'm aware, now that it's clicked in my brain, it feels remiss of me to not acknowledge the fact that you almost felt sarcastic whenever you called us monster hunters last time, like just a few moments ago.
Yeah, you know him. Sorry.
Yes, well, yes, of course, my reputation seems to have preceded me. But are you monster hunters? Or did you hunt some monsters?
I think we're probably the latter category.
Yes, this is my assumption as well.
You can speak for yourself, I guess. Depends on what you call a monster, because monsters also wear humanoid skins from time to time.
Well, well, I have watched you bumble your way through much of this landscape. You have managed to survive as long as you have. So I will afford whatever assistance I can. But as for what is going on, I think that is pretty clear, yeah?
Wait, you stuck here like us?
Well, we are all stuck here. Yes, this land is a miss. It ensnares everyone that enters. I have been here 10 years now.
At this point, Tins like leaps over towards Sparkles and like rolls over, and he just goes, "So where's this weapon of vengeance and sunlight that you supposedly have?" And he's like scratching at the back of his ear.
He cocks an eyebrow. Vengeance and sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have several. Where did you hear this?
I think I've said this before, but we had a reading before we actually entered into the land of Barovia.
Ah, yes, your experience with the
Madam Eva. Eva?
These Vistani are servants to Strahd, and they are near as monster as he is. However, I do not know what games this Madam Eva plays at, or whose side she seems to be on in this battle, but I am assured it is her own. But
well, we also saved her granddaughter, and her son-in-law, I believe, gave us hey, show him the thing. Show him the thing.
Sorry, first off, don't mind the elf. He's a bit he's in a mood right now. So but
I'm always in a mood.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So he starts fishing through his satchel on the side, and he hasn't been wearing it, but pulls out the in my inventory. It's got a name: Holy Symbol of Ravenkind.
ah, yes, may I?
Oh yeah, of course. And I sort of like dangle it in front between my fingers.
And he takes it, and without taking it from you, just kind of takes it in his hand and looks at it. And you see as he stands up, he's got this cane now that he pushes himself up to the floor with. Interesting. Old, very powerful. Could be useful in this fight against Strahd. You said you obtained this from a Vistani.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely stolen. Do not trust them. They are not your friends here.
And yet they've pointed us towards you and gave us this.
Yes, well, it could very well be that this was a method of flushing me out, per se. Strahd has been looking for me ever since I arrived. I've been biding my time. He takes these, from what I can gather, he will retreat to his castle, to his coffin for years at a time. I'm waiting for such a slumber, but it has not come. I'm afraid once he learns of my location, he will sent his minions, if not himself, to find me. And as strong as I am, Strahd is a different creature. What you fought in that coffin maker's house, those were puppets. They were toys to him. I am not certain I could beat him.
Here's a question. What really interests, no offense, but we're just looking to go home. Is Strahd even in control of the fogs, or is that just something that Barovia does?
This is a surprisingly astute observation. It is unclear of whether Strahd is in control of it or it is in control of him. Perhaps it is a prison for him as well. He cannot seem to leave, as none other can, but he's Vistani. If not to bring him more sustenance or entertainment from the outside. But perhaps it is a prison of his own design. And he has somehow forgotten the key. Who's to say? Maybe he does not desire to leave. Or perhaps this whole land is a part of him.
See, the thing is, the reason I'm asking is, I get it. He brings suffering in the land and all that, but I don't even know fighting him will do anything. We can fight him, put our lives on the line, die from this. No offense, I ain't heard of you, but I suppose a legendary monster hunter. I don't know. Are we just thinking about charging into our deaths?
Well, certainly. Yes, you are most certainly charging into your deaths. But there are ways. See, many before have charged in, have tried to rally forces against Strahd. But perhaps if we are more clever, perhaps if we turn the land against him itself, yeah. So there are few that understand this curse. There are few alive still. And even these Barovians, these Velakis, these husks, soulless, most of them, drained, whether by this land or by Strahd himself. Meaningless shells working day-to-day lives. They know nothing. This tower, though, this tower was built by someone who may know. Then, of course, there's that order. But I think they are. I don't know.
I'm sorry, you said order? What do you mean?
There are several factions in this realm outside of us who are working against Strahd. This is why I was at the Blue Water Inn. I believe the owner there, Danica, and her husband, to be a part of this one such faction. Keepers of the Feather, I believe they call themselves. The other is a much older, more righteous order. It's the Silver Dragon. But whatever goods they will do, I think they are just as much in this to prolong Strahd's suffering as they are to end the people, as they seem to. I don't know that much could be gained there, but perhaps for you.
Hmm.
Who do we talk to about the Silver Order?
The Order of the Silver Dragon reside at Augenvostolt. It is a little southeast of here. Perhaps you have seen it. It's a keep deep in the woods.
Well, I don't think. Did we see anything like that on the way here? One thing that caught my attention. You said the former owner of this tower here. Obviously, this was some sort of mage's abode, correct?
Yes. Again, very astute.
Well,
You are impressing me.
the lock had the elf doing a dance at the door. I figured, only mages could use that sort of thing.
Silly, I know, but surprisingly effective. Kazan.
Oh, the guy who owned this place before put his name on the front door? Makes sense.
There's no vaunting for taste, but these I have never known mages to be anything but arrogant.
Haughty?
Haughty, yes.
And I don't know if this is connected or nothing, but isn't there a mage in the woods sort of lost his mind?
Apparently.
Yes, this man, I have not met him personally, so I have heard the stories. Again, I typically find it is best to avoid such individuals, but
Look. We're burying the lead here. We came back to the telling. Madam Ava said that you would have
of course
a thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I assume that you mean this. And he leans over on his desk and he pulls its cloth, wrapped around it. It looks like a sword. And he pulls the cloth off. And underneath is a unique blade. As it is removed, it's the blade itself. It doesn't seem to. It just is almost thin like crystal underneath. This shining platinum hilt and guard, and this crystal blade, long, and it looks as forged like steel, but it's completely translucent. This is, and he holds it pretty easily, right? Kind of whips it around. This is a sword, unique craftsmanship, created by Kazan. I'm sorry, and for Sergei, who is Strahd's brother, who he killed. I don't know if you are familiar with the stories.
And so we are. We ain't been here very long. It's only been a few weeks. Has it been a few weeks? It's been a...
Question, clarification on that one. You're saying that Strahd killed Sergei with that, or Kazan killed Sergei with that?
No, Strahd killed Sergei. Sergei is not a warrior, per se. So unfortunately, the weapon was useless for him.
I see. So Kazan made the sword. Who was Sergei supposed to use this? I don't understand the connection here between Sergei and this beautiful blade.
Whatever connection he had, I am unaware of, but and forgive me, is my old age.
Uh-huh.
Where Sergei obtained it, I am not certain. But the blade itself, Strahd had requested that Kazan destroys this weapon. However, at some point, that process failed. It was stolen from him. And while the original blade itself was damaged, it is now still quite useful, as it seems to. And as he kind of flicks it again, you can see like the sun from the window catches and the entire blade just ignites, almost like fire.
Ooh.
There, you have made your presence known and felt. Are you happier now? He seems to look down at the sword and speak. And as he sheaths it again, it will burn creatures of darkness as if pure sunlight itself was raining down on them, which, as you can tell, against a vampire, this would be quite useful.
And what are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? Well, it is... who am I to interrupt with Vistani fate? It is yours.
And Tins like leaps up from the cat and just starts like scrambling over.
You
Can I
are
hold
way
it?
too comfortable around that cat.
Listen, Sparkles and I have a connection, okay? May I see the blade?
Of course. And he hands it over.
And just kind of like, Hmm.
Yeah. And as you hold on to it, this tingling in the back of your head, you can almost hear this. You feel like this voice trying to reach out to you before it just goes quiet.
Ooh. You were talking to this then, yeah?
Oh, yes, it is Sentient Weapon. Are you familiar with this?
Oh, friend, am I?
Yeah, so be careful with such things. They are a dominant will of their own, although it's this sword has one purpose, and that is to destroy Strahd. So I would be careful wielding it, lest it not drive you directly to his castle before you have, chosen a smarter, safer path. Yeah.
Understandable. Then he kind of like flips it around to the others. And he goes, "One of you want to carry it?" I mean, I know that I could probably resist its temptations, but
such a weapon of light seems like it would be meant for someone strong of arm and pure of heart, light in their soul.
Is it like a long sword, short sword? What kind of sword are we talking about here?
It's a long sword.
Well,
but it can be used as a finesse weapon, or it's versatile. Surprisingly light for a long sword.
As he kind of flicks it around, it just kind of like spins across his fingertips and just flips it over and goes, "Cool. You do arrows. Sorry, Ash.
Looks a little long for me."
Well, I mean, feel a bit bad. I got this absolutely useless amulet, and why don't you give it a go?
Well, I figured you probably would get annoyed with me talking to thin air.
Well, you do that anyway, so it won't be,
I'm trying to be somewhat thoughtful of you all.
If you want me to carry this burning sword, of course I'll take a burning sword, but, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't hate when I'm swinging around and I take the Morning Star
But-
and just kind of.
He looks over at Van Richten. He said it has a tendency to compel people to go straight for Strahd, yeah?
Yes, and it is built for that purpose, and that purpose alone. It desires his death.
Hmm. He just kind of pats it. I think I'll hold on to it for a moment then, if you don't mind. And he kind of like hides it underneath his trench coat.
But if you are determined, there are two things I will tell you.
Oh.
This being who forged this castle, this tower, once worked for Strahd himself, now a pitiful wretch, an undeath. He resides at the Amber Temple, but may have information on how to deal with this curse. The other, of course, is the legend of the beacons. And for that, you will need the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Beacons?
There is a legend, yes. It's the Order hides the key to these beacons that can be lit. That will help push back the darkness. It is a legend, but it is something.
If they wanted to torture Strahd, why wouldn't they light them like in a rotation? Like drop this one down, light the other one, drop this one down, light the other one, so on and so forth.
That is an excellent question.
It's stupid.
I think it might not be that easy, mate.
Yeah. Is it ever that easy?
Have you ever lit a beacon before?
Yeah, something is telling me it ain't as easy as just lighting a beacon.
Well, now I have a fire sword, so
Yeah, he's gonna. Should we let him have it?
Listen, he needs somebody else to talk to besides us, and if he can talk to the sword, let him talk to the sword.
Smart man.
2 birds, 1 stone.
there's plenty of swords to talk to. They just don't always talk back. It's kind of like the whole like trying to talk to you through my brain from time to time.
See my
Finally
point? My
started to
point is
work.
proven already.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. But we can't hear his talking sword too. It's a bit weird.
I'm saying it's going to be weird from time to time, but it's
So, Mr. Van Richten, what are you planning on doing? You just want up here?
For now, yes, I will have to remain undercover. And to be honest, he looks over the 4 of you. I prefer to work alone.
I used
No
to too.
offense.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Look,
yeah. If we were to say, all right, we've got the balls now. We're gonna go knock on Strahd's door. Would you want an invite, or
As you are? No, I will. I will wait on my chances. I will wait for him to slumber. Perhaps if you 4 go in and guns blazing, if you will, and knock on his door. Perhaps that will be enough to satiate him, and he will enter another sleep. So, if you are unsuccessful, then I will be the backups plan, if you will, plan B. Yeah.
Sure. I have a question about something you said earlier that I forgot to ask about because I was distracted by the telling and the stuff and the cat. What are the feather? What? Or the
Interesting. Yes.
keepers of the feather.
I have little information about the keepers, although it is my belief that the the owners of that inn have some sort of connection to them. They're also
Okay.
fighting against Strahd. They are servants of the Raven Queen.
Ooh.
And I have encountered one or two of these were-ravens.
What?
You heard him.
They're ravens.
No, I was just making
Ravens.
sure. There's been birds watching us.
Yes, they are everywhere.
Yes.
This is the Order of the Feather.
Do you know? Have you been able to actually speak with any of these
Keepers of the
were-ravens?
Feather. Sorry, I'm getting me confused. What?
Have you actually been able to speak with any of the keepers
I have.
other than
they
Danica?
I have, however, they are monsters in their own right. They are working for good in this situation. They are still cursed beings. And they propagate that curse.
Ash feels a tickle at the back of his head. That's just like a soft, jaunty dance as he hears Tin say, he sounds a bit biased. I wouldn't listen too much.
Ash's physical presence is that of a looking at Tens and just a shrug. Is without shrugging, that's the physical demeanor you get from him in response.
Well,
So,
go ahead.
who else? There's got to be other people. We got 2 cults to 2 different gods. We got an undead guy in his own temple. We got a guy that likes to sleep for years, that hasn't slept in years.
Would I understand the silver dragon reference?
Make a history check.
History, not religion.
I'm gonna go history.
Okay, 13
I figured it was a -1.
+1.
13. So there have been so many orders that are very similar, but it's something about it rings a bell, although it's not quite. There's nothing. I guess it's hard to describe that feeling, right? Because it's like you've heard of them before. Order of Holy Knights or Paladins, very similar to where you were brought up. It's just but nothing like is standing out, nothing jumping out that you would just be like, oh yeah, of course, the Order of the Silver Dragons.
Okay. Well, Tens, you satisfied?
What? Sorry, I was distracted by my sword.
This is going to be interesting. You satisfied? You sort of spearheaded this charge here, so.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I got what I came for and then some. I will say this much. At what point would you say yes to joining coterie charging into the great castle on the hill. Never
no
is an
point.
answer. Yeah,
No,
that's
yes,
what I figured.
yeah, yeah.
What about Sparkles? Can I take Sparkles?
No, you may not.
He
If we
looks
got
very
Sparkles
forlorn
would
at the
not
cat.
Sparkles would not be much service. He's bred for a very particular monster.
Which
And what is that monster?
The kind that circles wagons.
I feel like that's pointed at one of us, and I don't appreciate it, if I'm being honest.
Pointed at one of you. Are you a member of these Vistani?
Never mind. I understand now. I thought you were saying that because
Yeah,
when we
wagon
circled your
circles, mate.
wagons. It's yeah. No, sword. I'm distracted. I'm excited. Okay.
Mm.
He's gonna get us killed. Well, if we don't
Well,
have
I'm gonna
anything else, I feel like we might have used quite enough of your time.
Is there a way we can get a hold of you again besides coming back to this tower if we need to use up more of it? Your time, that is.
I'd prefer that you did not. So while I am here, of course, I am Van Richten. It's the magic that disguises me will not work, but neither will Strahd's vision. I am certain, so that he is watching you, your every move, as he does.
Yes, we've met the guy.
So I will disappear once again into the countryside as Rictavio. Once things have cooled down in Vallaki.
Well, thanks for the distracting sword, I guess.
You have been most generous with your time and knowledge, my new friend. And in return, I assure you there shall be a verse spared for you in our next song.
Yes, so many songs.
What time of day is it?
At this point, I would say it is evening.
He looks to the rest and just goes, did you all have a plan for resting tonight, or should we inquire upon that for here tonight? It seems like the safest spot. He turns and he looks at Rudolph and just goes, would you mind if we stayed here this evening? Whether it's downstairs, I won't stay up here. Can I have the cat with me?
No, you may not. But you may stay here at the tower. First floor.
Please?
Dense. He just shoots over a familiar glare.
Hey, fuck you. Please?
Come, Mr. Ted. Surely this is better than what you thought the night held. I expected we would be digging your grave, seeing you mess with that door.
Eh.
We did see him get shocked. That was pretty funny.
It was
I
pretty
enjoyed,
right.
I enjoyed that
Mm.
part.
And then he did that dance.
I think I deserve
Multiple
to cuddle with
times.
the cat with these with this group of assholes that I'm currently finding myself a part of. Please?
Also, do not mess with the wagon outside. That is a friend's.
Oh, you have friends?
If I know her well enough, it will probably explode if you get too close and don't touch it or fiddle with it in some fashion.
Huh? Who is it? Who can I know? Please?
Have a good evening.
Ah, fuck's sake. Well, at least I get to talk to a sword.
All right. Well, all aboard. And I do whatever it was that we did to get the elevator to start up again.
Yes, good luck out there. Don't get yourself killed.
Yeah.
Or even
yet.
worse, if you are going to be killed, make sure you die. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.
Oh, so ominous.
Yeah, I'm
Hi,
gonna lie.
Sparkles.
That was a little darker than I was anticipating, and that's coming from me.
Cole's just got his head in the sand. Just like,
Hmm.
And he goes back to the papers as the elevator begins to.
See, I told you. I told you. You should listen to me. I'm not stupid.
You have told us many things, and we rarely have a choice but to listen, Mr. Tens. I have stressed this point to you before.
Yes, but you don't always. You always argue with me. There's always like this weird tension that I have to deal with, and it's fucking annoying.
look, mate. It's a big thing to even have me believe in all this, alright? The only reason I'm not entertaining it is because you've been right so far, alright? So,
I'll take that as a win in my book.
you don't have to be smug about it, mate.
Oh, like you wouldn't be.
Let's
I'm just
set up-
saying.
let's just set a bed and Cole, starts unpacking his, do I have I got a backpack. I do not have any sleeping situation. So he just pulls a blanket out, finds, leans up against one of the clay statues.
Tins is going to take the sword and walk around in circles, pacing, speaking to it in every language he can.
And what about the other two?
Ash is gonna roll out a bedroll in the corner of the room and just make sure his gear's in order.
Durango's just going to prop himself up against the wall, seated, with his possessions beside him, like he could be ready to bolt at a moment's notice. Kind of watch Tens pacing and muttering with an exasperated look, and shake his head and kind of tuck his chin to his chest and go to sleep.
After a bit, I'll look around and see if there's anything useful at the bottom of the tower. Just start digging through some stuff. I don't know what's down here, but specifically opening any boxes or anything that's down here.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation. $15.
All right. Yeah, so you begin to dig through some of the crates and boxes, and there are odd statues and weird, what look like arcane instruments of that nature. It's a lot of just oddities, the kind of stuff you would find in an alchemist lab, or the kind of things a crazy wizard would have, a weird skull and an odd things floating in jars, this black viscous liquid, things like that. Amidst the rubble you find a scroll. Looks like make an arcana check. Arcana.
Oh.
I don't know why that word was eluding me.
6.
Yeah. So the words on it you cannot understand, but it seems in better condition than a lot of the other oddities that you found.
I'll pocket it.
Find any books?
No. And actually, not before pocketing it. Ash is gonna walk over to Durango and kind of nudge him with his boot.
Durango kind of jolts for a second. His eyes fly open as he looks around, like he's scared, like you've startled him.
Listen, we both know I couldn't shoot you with an arrow, even if I was trying. You're fine. Is any
It
of this?
was not you I was afraid of, Mr. Ash. What can Durango do for you?
Well, I think your comment hurt more than I was anticipating it. But can you understand any of this? I don't know. This looking around, I found this. It looks a little nicer than the rest of the crap around here.
I have been to many places. I have seen many things, Mr. Ash. Perhaps I could help.
Give him the scroll, see if it means anything to him.
Sure. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Is this something with that Eyes of the Runekeeper would play into?
Yeah, go ahead and do it with advantage.
Sorry, that was Arcana. It's a nat 20 for
Nice.
23 total.
Right.
Are
So
you-
looking over the scroll, it seems to outline this is a spell scroll used to cast a very particular spell. This one imbues any creature you touch with positive energy. And the ability to undo debilitating effects, reduce exhaustion, et cetera, et cetera. It's just overall what is known as greater restoration.
It would appear, Mr. Ash, this is no small treasure that you have uncovered. This is for restoring the vigor or repairing the injuries of a person. We could hope to have no use for this, but I think we both know better.
I mean, yeah. I mean, do you know how to use it? I don't really have any experience in that area.
Scrolls are just consumables, right? Like,
I mean, essentially, I think you have to know how to, don't you have to know how to cast the level of spell that the scroll's coming from?
Let me check.
I think so. I think
Scrolls
if
are
you
always
if
one of
you
those
if you
ones
don't have a
that
spell slot
screw
for
me
that
up.
level, then you, I think
Let's
maybe you have it at a higher DC.
Let's see. A spell scroll bears the words of a single spell written as a mystical cipher, blah, 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 blah. If it's on your spell list, you can read the scroll and cast the spell without providing any material components. Otherwise, the scroll is unintelligible. Casting a spell or reading the scroll requires a normal casting time. Crumbles to dust once it's used. If it's interrupted, does not last. Let's see. If the spell is on your class's spell list, but of a higher level than you can normally cast, you must make an ability check using your spellcasting ability to determine whether or not you can cast it successfully. And the DC changes based on the level of the spell scroll.
Gotcha. So I don't know that you would have had greater restoration on yours. So I don't even know if you would have been able to read it.
Well, you can. So I think it's one of those things that you'd be able to read it. I don't know that you'd be able to
Yeah, use
Actually
it, right?
cast it.
Mm-hmm. I don't
think
know
I
that
might
any
be
of
able
us
to.
can. Can you?
I mean, as a paladin, I
He
got
does,
lesser.
yeah.
So greater
But do
should
you-
be in my domain.
Yeah, but they're half casters. Greater restoration. Yeah, no, it would be just within your range.
Yeah, 5th level, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or probably 10s, right?
Tens has no spell casting.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I keep thinking 10s is a bard.
But I am considering multi-classing at some point, so we'll see.
Great.
although I have many tricks up my sleeve, Mr. Ash, I believe that perhaps the brave Sir Cole could make better use of such a boon.
All I know is I don't understand it, so I'll leave it up to you.
I was trying to fix all my other errors.
Mr. Cole, perhaps you would like to examine this as well?
You what? What's that? And take it out and I start going over it, and being in my domain, I would understand what this is. I'd kind of
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I'm not. I can't. He's already explained it to you.
Right, yeah.
It's in your domain. You understand
Yeah.
the spell. Yep.
Yep. Oh, quite powerful, this one. I do something similar, but not quite as much oomph. Yeah, so I'll scroll back up, tie it off if it has any such, and pack it away. I'll remember I got this. Radio J, do you have it in your inventory right now? You can transfer it directly from your.
I just put it in yours.
Okay,
I was gonna say, hadn't gotten it yet. We've still just been talking about it.
Gotcha. All right, I got it. I know we're relatively safe, but we still want to do watches tonight.
Probably
I mean, I
not
can
a
always-
bad idea.
I can always take half the night like I always do. Well, like I should say.
A bit easier for you, but it's your call.
I can take half of it. I need to talk to my sword anyway.
Yeah, why am I regretting coming here? I'll take the other half then.
If you need me, I don't mind jumping in either.
All right. So as you all gather yourselves and find the most comfortable places you can in this ruined wizard's tower, for many of you, that tingling sensation is still in the back of your mind. You even go to clean yourself off, Durango, and it just will not work. Right? Your magic is just completely dead. And you get frustrated.
Not enough to have to sleep in the dirt. The dirt is sleeping on me.
But as you settle in eventually, and which one of you goes first for the watch?
I
You
mean,
want
I
me to
think
take the first half or the second half? I can take either one.
it depends how eager you are to talk to that sword.
Oh, I'm pretty eager to talk to that sword.
Take the first one then, yeah.
Tens is wired.
All right. Well, go ahead and make a perception check for me. With disadvantage if you're tuning to your sword at the same time.
Does it require it to it? It
is
does.
in your inventory, yes.
It sure does. Yeah, I'll take it at disadvantage. Still a grand total of 17.
Right. So again, most of the night is quiet. The tower itself creaks, and you hear howling outside. The typical sounds of Barovia and the entire land at night. The wind whips through and beats against the tower walls. Somewhere in the distance, the silence of the sounds, your typical sounds of this land are broken by a bell, like a church bell. Bong, 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 bong.
What was that? He like whispers to the sword. He's like, "Do you know what that is?" Speaks into the hilt like a microphone.
It ignites and stabs your face.
End of 10. See you guys.
No, it's somewhere off in the distance in the night, outside the castle walls or the tower walls.
I'm too curious in spring. I step outside to get a better grip on where like the direction
Oh,
is.
you asshole. Yeah,
It's spring,
leave
man.
leave the place where we
I'm
can't
not
be
gonna. I'm
seen.
just gonna open. I'm not gonna like go out. I'm just gonna open up the door and see if I can actually like get a bearing on where it's at. Like stand within the doorway. Like I'd be like right there.
Sure. So as you push open that door, that magical door that seals the inside of this tower, you creak out, and the wind is howling in the night. The air is cold, chill, coming down from the mountains, and outside is just pitch black. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the darkness. They begin to pull in a light around you. That color, the color shifts, and you switch into that whatever it is in your eyes that allow you to see in the dark. It sounds like the bells came from somewhere to the west. But as far as vision, you can't see much beyond the woods or the.
And he closes the
Mist.
door and go inside. So, are you there?
You don't hear a response as much as you feel it. It's similar to your own seasons, right? A warmth, like a tingle up the back of your neck, like a warm breeze.
Hello. You awful warm.
It turns to almost like a significantly hotter now too, almost the same the feeling of summer and anger and fury, and it's sort of like begins to permeate through you, this anxiousness.
Ah, you're an angry sword. Got it. Must be from the South Pole. Hmm. Don't worry. We're not going to go now. But eventually, we'll go that way. Promise.
The heat begins to dissipate and get to cooler, and this overwhelming feeling of sadness.
Oh. Hmm.
Frustration.
I understand. I understand your frustration, but we need to build up strength first. Please understand. You're but while you are going to be a great ally moving forward, it's little steps. Little steps. I have a plan. They may not be aware of it, but I have a plan. It'll be okay.
And it shifts again to that warmth, that just a little, just like the first time. Just creeps up, that sense of purpose.
He gets real close and he goes, "Do you have a name?" No?
No
Okay.
response.
It's worth a shot. He kind of like dusts off the hilt a bit and just says, "We'll be good friends." And he sets it, and he like sets it on the like next to his rapier on his belt. And he begins digging around. He wants to find a book in this stuff, if he can find one.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I think he's going to be interested in some of the magical implements as well. 18.
Yeah, so digging through the rest of the boxes, you don't find any books or notes. It looks like whatever books or anything were here, Van Richten had upstairs. And as far as the tools and the embellics and the bottles, everything is nothing is overly interesting to you. Most of it is relatively mundane, alchemical. Nothing. Yeah.
How far up to the top floor is it?
It is 4 floors. You're talking height?
Mm-hmm.
80 feet.
To the bottom, to like the floor of the top floor. It's 80 feet, not to the
Correct.
ceiling. Okay. How high up is it to the next floor?
The next floor is
Like in between
20
floors, how far is it?
Let me see. It's
Because I'm gonna do some rogue shit.
20 feet.
20 feet.
Mhm.
Okay. I think I'd like to use my last 2 uses of my face step to go up to that would put me 60 feet up in this 80 feet. And then I want to pull out my rope and tie it to a crossbow bolt. And I want to fire it up at where I think I could probably anchor it into that next room up. I don't want to go all the way. I don't want to take the elevator up. It's too loud. But I think I might be able to shoot it quietly up there and then climb my way up and dig around for like some semblance of remnants of a spell book.
I may be starting a fight here. But
Shit.
you go to face step. And you jump up a little bit.
Oh, fuck.
And then hit the
All
ground.
right. I forgot, which is on par for 10s at this moment. Okay, then do you think I could shoot the rope up because it's 50 feet? You think I could shoot it up and then like go up, yank it down, and then fire it again?
Yeah, I mean, you can try anything, right? So you're trying to fire the rope up so you're trying to fire this arrow into what, I guess.
Just like the ceiling of the next floor up, so that way I can pull
Sure.
myself up and then yank it down. Even if the bolt and crossbow bolt doesn't come with it, I have another one in hand. I can just tie it off.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
Ranged attack roll.
You said it's 30 feet, 20 feet up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So it's not at disadvantage. That's nice. Well, fuck. With a 5, it doesn't matter.
So if you're trying to hit the ceiling of the next floor,
Yep.
it'd be 40 feet, but
So it would be
Still.
a disadvantage.
with a 5, you watch the arrow actually hits. It's not quite where you wanted it to, but the wood just breaks, and as you go to yank on it a little bit, the plank on the floor that you hit just snaps, and the whole thing it makes a ton of noise.
Wow.
The rest of you are all woken up as debris and rubble slams against the floor above you and then breaks a little more, and you are showered in splinters, dust, and rotten wood.
Immediately go over and stare at Tens.
What are you doing? Do I want to know? Don't answer that question. Somebody else ask him the question because I want to know, but just not from him.
He just starts inspecting his hand crossbow like nothing happened. He's like,
Something
Something's
very
wrong.
clearly happened. You can't fake it.
it didn't work right. It was supposed to do that, and it didn't.
Tens, you're supposed to be watching to make sure we ain't getting fucked with. What you
We'll
doing?
get there. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's all you were
It's
supposed to
fine.
do. That's it. Now,
Listen,
Mike.
go back to sleep.
I'm
It's fine.
trying.
Excuse me while I
What
get.
is the matter, Mr. Tens? Did you run out of words and relied on the tower to make noises for you?
He just puts his hand crossbow away and starts winding up the rope. Just looking for a spell book. I just want a spell book. It seems like it'd be a fun time, just have a spell book.
Yes, if I had a copper for every time I was in the library with my crossbow seeking a text. Durango just walks away, waving his hand dismissively. He returns to his seat against the wall. We're in dim light or darkness at this point. Yeah, and he just disappears where he's sitting. Just excuses himself entirely.
Ash, recognizing what he was trying to do. You could have just taken the elevator up.
It's too loud, and I don't want to be caught by Mr. Monster Hunter up there and his cat.
And it's too
Right.
loud, so you're gonna bring the building down instead.
It's a risk.
Shakes the blanket off, pulls it over himself.
Durango, I'm gonna call your one with the shadows a magical effect as well. So,
Damn it, I thought
you're pretty good at blending into the shadows as is, but there's no stealth roll. So if you want to make a stealth roll, I'd give you that. But
okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see if you can beat
I thought you
my.
let me get away with that one because it doesn't say cast invisibility; it just says become invisible.
Yeah, but neither does face step. It's just a magical effect, and so
Mhm.
I would, and because this is an eldritch evocation, I would kind of consider it the same thing.
All right, let's get stealthy. Let's see how we do.
Beat my 16 passive.
It's
You,
16.
you meet it.
So you kind of vanish. You don't vanish the same way. You notice that you're not invisible. So you just kind of creep, your purple skin fading into behind a crate.
I'm not gonna pull any other shenanigans for the night after that failed miserably. So he would, just relax,
Okay, yeah. The
talking,
rest of the night
whispering to
goes
his
by
sword.
without a hitch. The evening passes, and then it is Cole.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck. And shakes off the blanket, and there's still like wood chunks and everything all over it. So he shakes it out and folds it up, and I guess just sits and like stares at the door. Yeah, just making sure that it doesn't open.
Yeah, nothing seems to yeah, I mean, it seems pretty secure, obviously, in its magical lock that keeps it shut. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Yeah, but I figure our elf could dance and open it. This is probably not the hardest to get through. Oh, that's an 18. That's not bad.
At this point, late in the evening, you hear the typical sounds of Barovia, although the normal wolf howls are broken by significantly louder and more aggressive howling back and forth, almost like barking somewhere far off in the woods beyond the tower. Whatever is making that sound is much larger than any wolf you've heard. And then once again, a little while later, bong, 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 like a church bell, but being rung with no purpose or seeming. It's not telling the time or marking an event. It's just being rung somewhere off in the distance.
Like a warning signal? That's the only thing I think Cole would be thinking right now.
Make an insight check.
Insight check on bells.
Against church bells.
I like this. This is D&D.
15.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really difficult to tell. It's haphazard at best the way the bells are going off. It doesn't sound like there's a, or it doesn't sound like there's a panic to the way it's being rung, I guess. Just sort of lackadaisical, pointless ringing.
Yes.
Like a child playing a prank almost, or something. But it's just
The Tensveta bells.
Weird. Hey, it's Barovia. Weird. Yeah, Cole just sort of make a mental note of it and carry out his watch.
The rest of the watch goes by without a hitch. So most of the night is, again, the howling and the barking outside is unnerving. As you nervously watch the door, nothing happens. And before long, that familiar dim sunlight begins to peek through the cracks in the walls of the tower.
I'll get up and start to rouse everyone. That's it. Come on. It's morning.
Yeah, I'm up.
Yeah, I know.
Surely it is not already time to rise? The tower still has walls standing, Mr. Tens. It could not be done yet.
Look, it was just a few planks. You don't have to be a jerk about it.
I mean, you woke him up. I get it.
Get over yourselves.
Like, I don't even think like it's the first time that you've done it. Like, I think you've woken him up a lot before.
I've literally
that's
only
just the vibe
slept.
I get.
That's the only room You're the only one whose room I've slept in. We slept on the road once, and I was there's no way to.
Oh, I feel a bit bad because I feel like maybe like whether you're from manners, what talk so well. Typically,
Now you're just being a dick, and there's a difference between being a jack and a dick, and you found it.
I'm just saying, typically, when you're invited into someone's house, you don't go shooting crossbows.
And yet you steal from people in the middle of the street. I'm just trying to steal a book.
What?
Is there any difference between stealing from people in the street and stealing from someone inside the house?
My
Honest question.
I ain't steal nothing. They give it.
Oh, sure. I remember I very distinctly remember having a conversation with you specifically about how my dexterous skills would be of great use in a crowd whenever they were gathered because of our six-fingered friend over here. 12-fingered friend.
I never said I have any qualms with it. I said I ain't never done it.
Sure. That's why you would
Consider it,
suggest
Mr.
it to
Tens.
myself.
Consider it, Mr. Tens, a test of moral character, and you have passed all expectations. You may forget about that, yes.
Can we just go like one day without like a moral quandary of some sort?
Have you met this fucker? And he points at Cole.
What's that supposed to mean?
That means a lot.
I
Ash is
happen to
good.
be an upstanding character.
And he walks away.
Ash steps outside into the morning air.
We're going outside.
I know of no songs singing the virtues of Mr. Ten's circle. Do not take much heed to these words.
I don't think he likes me much.
Besides the sound of his own voice and wrecking the homes of our hosts, I do not know what he does. He does not even sleep.
After this, I think I'm staying away from elves for a while. I don't know about you.
It will be some relief, I will admit, to get back on the road past the mists and put all of this behind us, Sir Cole.
His ear kind of twitches as he's still listening from outside the door.
And as you exit out into that morning air, the mist recoiling back off the still, placid lake, as if pulling away from the sunlight that is cascading over the, or the bits of it that are peeking through the overcast sky, cascading over the mountains that surround the valley of Barovia. That cool air blowing down from the mountains, reminding you once again of the season. The forest dark and looming off in the distance, that 100 or so feet across that land bridge that seems to connect the tower with the old Svalak road. Where are you all headed?
Can you take us back to the other maps? That way I can tell you. Thanks.
Yeah, we had this mapped out, so.
So we were going this way. We're going to Kresk, right?
What was our reasoning for going there?
Kresk has the Abbey, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. What was the
No. We have to go down south first because that's where the winery is. Down to the south
right,
west. And then go back up to Kresk.
and then we're going to the Svalak Woods to look for mage.
Mad Mage, yep.
Why are we doing that again? I think he can help us, or...
Yes, I do think he would be very helpful. For a lot of reasons. One, he shocks a lake for fish to eat. That's kind of a big deal in my book, but that's just me.
I thought the lake ain't got no fish.
Well, apparently that he's found him. I don't know. This is just what we've heard. And if he's out there living in the woods all alone, and these woods are as dangerous as everybody says they are, which we've all experienced at this point, it might be a good time to, find him.
I gotta agree. He might know something.
And he might have a spell book I can have.
What's you on about having a spell book for? It seems out of nowhere. That's it, hey? That's all you got.
As much as you talk and the best you can muster about wanting a spell book out of nowhere is meh.
I'm not entirely stupid when it comes to the arcane. I have had some studies in such things, which is why I go about calling it fuckery, because most people don't understand whenever I say the words arcane spellbook. So it's been a thought. It's been tickling at the back of my mind. I remember songs of old that apparently helped people whenever they were using their blades in my heritage. So it's been a thought. I've also considered, with that information on the fact that there is an actual group of people known as the Keepers of the Feather, I thought it might be worthwhile to actually lean on the Raven Queen. I don't know. I've got a few options in my proverbial quiver that I've been trying to consider.
Well,
recently. Because I've
it is-
noticed that. Well, hold on. There's a bit of a deficiency in arcane usage in our little troop here. Don't get me wrong, Durango, you're great, but wouldn't it be nice to have an extra pair of hands in handling magical things from time to time? It's just a thought. That's all.
Perhaps you could play a drum or ring a bell while I play. Hmm?
I mean, whenever we're in the heat of things. Not necessarily while we are trying to gather coin on the street.
Well, Mr. Tens, I am most familiar with the power of song. From what you are saying, you are also interested. I would never discourage such a passion, such an interest.
It's okay. I see where you're coming from. It's not quite the same in that regard. It's more of a scenario of enhancing one's skill magically through song without playing an instrument. It's all vocal.
Oh no, so much different than what I do, you know. And
I've never heard you sing.
well, I mean, so you know, I don't know about singing, but I have to say things in a certain order, sort of like a lyric.
Not the same. Not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about casting a full-on spell. I'm talking about just simply, singing a tune. And
Hens is saying that he wants his own tower with his name on it.
yes, no, it'd be nice one day, but I don't think I need to go quite that far. I do like to travel.
Is this like the songs the dwarves sing while they toil in the mines?
Similar. It's more of ones that would be used in certain ceremonies in the land of Fakuri.
Well,
I hope one day, Mr. Tens, that you can sing for us this great song of Bakuri.
the Fakuri national anthem, if you will.
Oh. Don't know that there's a nation, but it's a thought.
Or maybe once we rescue Barovia from a Strahd, we'll just take it, eh?
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, take you to meet my mom and dad.
Lord Cole. Lord Durango Fortescue. Oh, come on now.
Oh, they'd be very interested to meet the lords of. Well, we'll figure out what you guys are lords of later.
But you did bring up a good point about we got a name for the birds now. Keepers of the Feather. That's at least we know who's watching us. And that's something we got to think about too. We didn't plan this in our route. Do we want to see these silver dragon folk?
My thought is that may be a stop before we go see the undead dude who lives in the Amber Temple.
Alright, we found out about that shite too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on in Barovia, it turns out.
To start things to sound like some of the children's songs, going from having a tea with a dead wizard to meeting with a dragon cult to
Yeah.
having lunch in Baba Yaga's hut. Yes, indeed.
I don't think it changes our plan much. We head west, we take care of our business, circle around, we handle all of it the same way we were going to do before.
Speaking of West, you heard that bell last night?
I did. It's out west. I wonder if it isn't coming from the Abbey.
That's what I was thinking, but it weren't like marking the hours or nothing. It was sort of haphazard.
Maybe it was an alarm. Maybe they had wolf attacks. Like, is
That's what I was
Mark and
thinking.
yeah.
But it didn't seem like it matched up. On so much you could tell from a distance.
Well, are you familiar with Barovian bell warnings? I'm
No,
just
but
saying.
usually you just run up to the keeper, yeah, and you just start ringing a bell when you need some attention. It's not like no patting.
Yeah, but with the fact that they have, the Lord is apparently a demon, and well, we've seen him in face to face. He's definitely a piece of shit. I think there would be probably a different warning system between him and the wolves and the twin idiots in whatever town we were just in. Valaki.
Well, maybe, but you see, sounds most of those bells are pretty hard to make a pattern on. It takes basically a whole man to just,
Well, unless you're using the hammer from the outside.
I wasn't thinking about hammer. I was thinking one of them
Yeah,
wheel
no.
situations.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could have the wheel situation, but that's hard to do. But if you're doing it from the outside, it's very easy, and that's actually usually what most bells are. Most warning bells are rung. How they're usually rung. They don't actually even have the hammer on the inside half the time.
Well, I can tell you this without knowing much of bells, but knowing much of what we face. An alarm for wolves, we would hear bells, but for Strahd, there would be no bells. Do you understand?
That's valid. Yeah. He pulls out his own bell. And he just kind of rings it softly. He says, "I like to think I have proficiency in bells." Puts it away.
At the end of the day, we're gonna find out anyway. If we're going that way,
We're going to the winery first, right?
Well,
Right?
I think it's probably a good idea.
We could get
Gets us
Terry's for
in-
the road.
Oh, Terry's.
You get Terry's for the road. See, there's a smart man. I was thinking we could butter the that other cult or order or whatever it is.
Keep his other feather.
Yeah, because if Danica's the leader and we're gonna go free up a bunch of wine for him.
He didn't say that she was the leader, just that she was involved.
Wow.
While they're talking about the birds, I'm just gonna keep an eye out for the birds.
Go ahead and make a. Actually, just roll me a d20.
I'm assuming that this conversation is being had as we're walking along.
Yeah, I was gonna
the
Yes.
road.
It's 11.
So yeah, you do. As you look up into the sky, that overcast clouds, there are several, like a swarm of those ravens just flying through the air, up above, darting from tree to tree. Which direction are you guys headed?
We're going towards the winery.
You are headed towards the wrong winery. Okay.
And just as we're talking about the birds, I'm just gonna shout out to them. We're ready to talk when you are.
And you call me crazy.
I don't think they're normal birds.
No. And he's going to send telepathic messages to each individual one that he can, saying, "Hey, we'd like to talk. Hey, we'd like to talk. Hey, we'd like to talk." Just one right after the other.
Yeah, and you can see the ravens as you continue to make your way through the woods, just begin to perch, swarms of them. And as you guys are kind of looking at them and talking, there are more and more. All of a sudden, as you look at the trees and the branches and the paths around you, there are hundreds, cawing, screeching. But all
Getting
just
loud.
staring.
I'm having a hard time thinking they're so loud.
Oh, great. This isn't gonna be good.
This is so bad.
Yeah, outnumbered.
This is not the type of crowd I am used to drawing.
Hey, play a tune. Maybe we should do something. See if you can distract them a bit. They're not unintelligent creatures.
The great Durango Fortescue. Play in the woods.
Four
Four
birds. Yes. Trust me, I'm a mastermind.
Hey, if something crazy happens and it goes good, you're gonna have one hell of a song.
Listen,
This
not
is
only
true?
that, but I've been right a lot. Even Cole said that.
Durango considers for a moment and then just kind of sighs with exasperation. Either I do not do it, and I listen to you complain for the rest of the day, or I do, and you are correct, and I listen to you gloat for the rest of the day.
I won't gloat. I'm not a gloater.
Durango readies his lute and just kind of gives his head one last shake before turning to the congregation of birds. Hello, my friends of the sky. It is I, as you know, the great Durango Fortescue. You are birds. Here is a song.
You are birds.
The whole time, Durango's like maintaining eye contact with Tensveta.
I
Like-
love Dungeons and Dragons.
You are birds.
As you continue to walk through the screeching alleyway of ravens and misty wood, eventually you stumble upon another weather-worn signpost in the road as it forks in several directions. 3 arms of the sign point along 3 different branches of the road. The arms pointing north read Kresk. And through the woods, you can see an arching stone bridge spanning a river. Facing the east, you read another sign towards Vallaki. As the road in that direction gradually slopes up towards the walled city. And the arm pointing southwest reads, The Wizard of Wines. Gently sloping downhill.
Is that another name for Terry?
Terry the Wizard of Wines. Oh man, what have we done to you, Vallaki? I mean Barovia. So sorry.
I'm not. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Wizard of Wines. Regardless of the alleyway of birds. Screeching alley.
Okay. Tensveta, can you roll me a d20?
Oh boy. How about a 3?
How about a 3? So you guys continue to make your way south down the path towards the winery, the Wizard of Wines. After about an hour or so, the road turns from that slightly cobblestoned old Sphalic road to a much more worn dirt path. The travel gets a little more tiring and exhausting as your boots hit stone and mud. A little into the journey, something catches your eye. You'll have to find it. Off in the to the side of the road, there's a glint of metal. Quickly, and you're immediately your adrenaline starts to rush. Before quickly you just realize that it is looks like an old wolf trap. Steel jaws caked with rust, carefully hidden under a thin layer of pine needles and detritus.
Has it been triggered? Has it been snapped? No?
No.
How far off the road is it? And how far away do we think we are from the Wizard of Wines?
You're not certain how far away from the Wizard of Wines you are, but it is roughly like 5 feet off the road. It's not far in a bush.
Are there any tracks on the road to show any recent traffic?
No, and make an
Like wagon
investigation
tracks
check.
or anything? $23.
23. No, you don't see any tracks in anything that was there from the previous nights. That sort of perpetual mist and rain seems to have washed away any signs. So the trap itself is significantly rusted. You're not even certain it would go off if you tried.
Oh. He points it out. It's really old. Really, really old. I think we ought to leave it. I mean, it's not going to snap off or anything, unless you guys want the metal for something.
Just think we should watch out for the Lyca along the road. We don't want to step into one of them things. Rusted or no.
True.
Yeah. Better to know that it's in the area. Just watch out if we decide to, if nature calls, don't go too far without watching where you're stepping.
I mean, do you think it'd be useful to just have it anyway? I mean, never mind. That's a bad idea. Don't worry about it. Never mind.
I mean, depends on how big it is.
Does it look like we could get up and running? Get it working?
I'm no tinker.
But neither.
My talented hands shall go nowhere near this dangerous contraption.
Sounds about right. Need your fingers. Even though you got an extra.
So we'll leave it. Maybe if there's one one that's not so decrepit.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm just going to keep moving then.
So as that muddy trail meanders through the woods, descending gradually into the trees, they begin to part, revealing a mist-shrouded meadow. The trail splits again. One branch heads west into the valley, and the other leads south into dark woods. A wooden signpost at the intersection points west and reads, Vineyard.
Time to go to the vineyard. I don't know why I said it like that, but it felt right.
Let's go, fellas. We've hit Napa Valley.
Hey, girls' weekend. All right.
Hey.
As that sky up above, that overcast sky in this cool autumn or winter morning begin to open up again, a light drizzle falls. Unpainted fences blindly follow the trail, which skirts north of a sprawling vineyard, before bending south towards a stately building. The fog itself, always present, seems to take on a almost ghostly forms as it swirls between the neatly tended rows of grapevines. Here and there you see a rope-handled half-barrels used for hauling grapes. And then a little north of the trail is a large stand of trees. Tens, you see it first, and then Ash. A figure wearing a dark cloak and a cowl, standing at the edge of the trees and waving.
Waving? As in greeting?
As in waving. Okay. And that's where we'll take our first break. So thank you everybody for joining. Super awesome shout out. Looks like was at a raid from
live from the apocalypse.
Live from the apocalypse. Yep. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Looks like we had a couple who follows. Go ahead and spend those elf bags. Get your game, which is what was our reminder? What was the game for the evening?
Today we're doing a giveaway of Crazy Alien, where you play some sort of space squirrel.
Yeah, and if you're into aliens, hey, hop into our Discord because that's Ben and my thing. We like aliens.
Also, if you're into space squirrels, probably hop into the Discord.
Rude.
Or if you don't like rabbits for whatever reason, or space or aliens, save up those elf eggs. 2,000 points. Our giveaway. We'll be giving away this month's dice tomorrow. Custom set of Dragonite dice. 2,000 dice. 2,000 elf eggs.
2,000 dice eggs.
2,000 dice eggs. It's what we might as well change the name to dice eggs. But it's like a whole stream. So if you just sit and watch, otherwise, come check us out tomorrow for our Cinder Stream game, our 1940s noir themed 5e adventure.
We got a party.
We are going to a party, aren't we? An art gallery.
We're going to an art show. Anyway.
Oh God. Anyways,
Oh boy.
Chuck DMs that one. I am a player in that one. It's super funny if you haven't checked it out, but if you between this stream and that stream, you definitely have enough to get an entry. So, anyways, give us 10 minutes and we'll see you guys soon. All right, and welcome back, everybody. As you guys approach this, again, you see this figure. Dark cloak, cowl, standing on the edge of the trees, beckoning towards you.
I'm going to send off a telepathic message to him first. Just say, hello. And then just kind of look at the rest and go, hey, they're beckoning. And he's just going to start walking that way.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, at this
Yeah,
point,
I'm
I
gonna-
figure we just let him do it.
Unsling my bow just to have it ready.
As you approach the cloaked figure, and you get closer tens, you notice it is an older human man. Leathered skin, a little tanned, dark hair receding a bit at the hairline underneath the cowl as the misty rain drops. He does have what looks like a small crossbow at his side that is also loaded. But for the most part, looks at you and eyes you warmly. Well, hello. You look well armed. Are you adventurers of some sort?
I think you could say that. How can we help you? You are in the presence of the great Sirko Mavvin, and this is, of course, as you would know, the great Durango Fortescue.
On cue, Durango cuts a very deep, dramatic bow with a flourish, swishing the cloak out behind him.
Oh, excellent. Yes, and he looks from side to side, and you see out of the trees now. Other figures begin to emerge.
How many are we talking?
One after the other, totaling 9. Although several of them are very quickly, and as you are, at first you get nervous, you see that some of them are just children. My name is Davian Martikov. This is my home here. I'm titular Wizard of the Wines. But I was wondering if perhaps your services could be acquired. So we have found ourselves running a bit afoul.
Oh? What seems to be the problem? Why are you out here? Why aren't you in the winery?
Yes, it would appear that our winery has been taken from us by Druids.
Okay, wait. Sorry. Run that by me one more time.
Druids, they're a local bother, nuisance, really. We typically just tend to the woods and stick to themselves, but I don't know what they're doing here, but they attacked us with these creatures of wood and stick.
Before now, how are they always a nuisance?
Hunters and woodsmen, typically it's but just bothersome to individuals that impede on their territories, but primarily, again, they stick themselves in small numbers. This is a bigger group.
Okay, you didn't really give me any information with that. What do they do to be a nuisance to you here at your
Right
wine?
now, they have forced us out of our homes.
Well, besides
with,
this,
yes,
before now, come on
Oh,
now.
No,
Follow
you know,
the train of
they will
thought.
attack again. They will attack for logging or farmers. You know, and hunters. I don't know what more information you're looking for there. About
How often do you
Adrian.
send out loggers? And
This
how
is
often?
this is my eldest son, Adrian. Adrian was ran amok of them 7 months ago. Again, just collecting firewood and making sure that the fields around the vineyards were cleared.
Did they say anything to you?
Yes. Well, they speak a language we do not understand. Primarily they keep to themselves. It is odd to have so many in the vineyard at once. I wish we had more information, but
Have you found there any? Is there any space in your vineyard that you found to be safe away from them? Before now, I mean, of course, like before, like would they not breach a certain portion of your land before?
yeah, it's very untypical of them to attack like this, force us out of our homes. They normally they wouldn't have any interest in, being indoors, if you would.
Anything unusual happen recently that might change the behavior, or did you rile them up or something?
Nothing that we can think of. Again, we're just conducting business as usual. We didn't chop down any additional trees. We didn't clear any additional forest. It was obviously it is winter, so we were gathering firewood. We did fell a few trees, but again, nothing egregious.
Oh,
To be honest, we have always been very respectful of the land. It is,
how honest is he being? Is he giving away anything?
Make an insight check.
18.
Yeah, I mean, he appears to be forthright in that they did. It was unprovoked. They, obviously, in looking around, the land is well taken care of. Although it is cold, a lot of the vines have begun to die for the season. But
Where were these trees that you were last chopping down located? Perhaps you cut one down that was sacred to them or something.
yes, we always check this as well. There's a small bit of forest between here and Raven River, up north. Connects to Lake Baratok, flows from the mountains, but again, there are no sacred sites, nothing we believe to be sacred, and they don't seem to be interested in us as much as they are the vineyard itself. It is peculiar.
Do you know the name of the leaders? The leaders, the main head of circle?
We do not, unfortunately. They tend to speak in a language that is unfamiliar to us, but these are not. Be careful if you do go in there. These are not good people.
Well, they are people. It's not like.
Well, yes, they are good. They are people, but they are not good people. I mean, they are known for weird sacrifices and cult rituals. Every once in a while we'll get mountain folk, and there are wilder people in these woods and in this land, but these ones are particularly unfriendly to outsiders.
Sacrifices and occults.
Yes. Evil.
Yes, I am aware.
So, typically, and we do sympathise with your plight. We do. Typically, we tend to be transactionary in nature. What would you be offering us for liberating your vineyard?
I'm not certain what's left there. Of course, our stock we can provide you. We have 6 barrels of wine that are left. The rest is still fermenting at the moment.
5 of those are going to Danica, regardless.
Got any terries?
You know Danica.
We are very well acquainted, yes.
Excellent.
She's the one that actually let us know that the shipments have stopped.
Oh, of course. That's
She told us some of her flock may have been having a bit of an issue.
Her husband, Owen, is my nephew.
Oh, very different group of people then. Good.
So I'm very familiar with her and Danica, with him and Danica. But it is all we can truly offer at the moment. Of course, whatever gold you receive for the barrels, you would most certainly keep.
Give us.
I have one more question, if you don't mind, before we talk about this. Whenever they do their sacrificing and the cult stuff, is it here on your land or is it elsewhere?
It is elsewhere. We've heard rumors. Stefania. You can see another one of the figures steps forward and she pulls her hood down. This a similarly tanned skin with dark raven-like hair, raven black hair, just cascading down her shoulders. She says, "Yes, I've heard from the village folk that they believe, and it is rumored, but they believe these druids are somehow worshippers of this witch in the woods, known as Baba Lysaga. It is a legend, a rumor, but evil. Somewhere near the remnants of a town that used to exist, Beres. What they could be trying to accomplish, we do not know."
Just speaking to, just pulling him aside a little bit. Yeah, one moment. We just got to chat about this quick.
Right.
That's what we think.
It does not seem like a most profitable endeavor, I will admit, but perhaps a bit of leverage with our other friend Danica, given what we have learned, could be useful.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Also, wouldn't be bad to have information on any sort of witch in the woods. Any magic that can compete with Strahd's might be worth looking into.
That's a fair point. You know, I think what we need at this point is some allies.
Yeah.
It better be good wine.
I don't suppose any of you know anything in particular about the Druids? I must admit, I do not consider myself an expert in these matters.
I don't know much. The few I have come across.
Hey.
They like nature.
Yes, they do not seem to appreciate gold. I do not find myself in their presence very often.
They wouldn't be coming after this land if it wasn't valuable to them on some sort of spiritual level, I wouldn't think. It's odd, to say the least, though I don't want to be too
heavy-handed in handling them. If there's more than you can handle one or two, even one archdruid can be handled. But if this is as big a group as our friend Davian says it is, then we should be wary, to say the least.
Well, let's say we go in there and have a chat.
I think
And
I
if
think
they
a
don't wanna-
conversation is best. Yes.
But I'd be prepared for them not being real chatty as well.
Well, it's a good thing I'm in a chatty mood. At least I can get one of you out if things go sideways. Or two of you. Actually, I could get all three of you, and then I would just have to run.
Well, Mr. Chatterbox, I believe you should be the one to do the talking then. It seems like you know more about, I know shite about Druid.
They're not too uncommon in the Feywild, so it's just they're usually evil. The ones that I've seen, they're usually haggish in nature. From what I've seen, I don't like them very often. So,
Well,
shall we?
we shall.
He's gonna look over to Davian and just be like, which one of you have any of you kids had a good conversation with any of these druids ever? Like, did any of them grow up with you, or how? Is there any of them that are a bit younger? That sort of thing.
Again, it is very rare that they communicate
I was-
with outsiders.
Just because you haven't communicated with them doesn't mean the kids haven't. Kids tend to run off and speak to anybody.
And druids tend to eat children.
I like this guy. Nobody else ever put him in his place besides us.
Hey, after this, you want to hang out a bit?
I'll be really honest. I don't know that I've ever heard of druids eating children.
Welcome to
Unless they
Barovia.
were. Well then, very well.
Tell you what, Tens.
is-
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say it is quite fortuitous that fate has brought us into your path, Mr. Wizard of Wines. This reward you speak of, these kegs of wine, this should be sufficient for the time, but perhaps in the future we may require a favor from you. We should add this as an addendum.
If you insist, I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, yes, splendid, yes, and Durango.
Fortunately,
Clap
if
his
my
hands
unfortunately, if my situation is not resolved here, I'm afraid I won't be of much use to anyone.
How long have they been here?
A day, 2 days.
You got any bells?
I
I'm
gave you
sorry.
one.
Like,
Oh, you mean from last night?
yeah. Was anybody ringing bells?
No, it's that Abbey. Just seems to be come and go. No, unfortunately, not us.
You know, they don't like metal. So, I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my ass at this point.
I don't know. It's strange to us too. It's very, very rare, very peculiar.
All right. No offense. You don't seem like much help. We'll help you out. See what we can do.
Matter of one mind. All right. And he just starts marching towards the building.
Man, all I can picture is just this elf like jaunting through Barovia, just and everyone just like behind him, like, oh my god, this guy.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's just like it's like a cartoon where it's like the one really happy guy and everybody else is just like slumped over, like knuckles dragging on the ground.
Uh-huh.
But a moment ago, he warned us, look out in the path, there could be traps, snatching the feet. Now he is striding through the grass without a care in the world.
To be fair, I have a pretty high passive perception. I'm okay.
Situated in the midst of the vineyard.
Oh boy.
The winery itself is an old 2-story stone building. Multiple entrances, thick ivy covering every wall. An iron fencing along its roof line. When the trail ends at an open loading dock on the ground floor. A wooden stable of more recent construction attached to the east side of the winery itself. And next to the loading dock is, or sitting next to the loading dock. West of the winery is a crumbling well in a wooden outhouse. What is the method of your approach?
I'm going straight to the front door of the winery and keeping an eye out for anybody that may be out here moving about.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cast Invisibility on myself. And, actually, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stand maybe 10, 15 feet behind, tents.
Yeah, I'm
Dwayne
gonna.
goes, oh, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm standing back off to the side a little bit. If everybody else is back 10, 15, I'll be up next to him.
Durango's going to try and find like the shade of a building or a tree or somewhere he's in dim light and disappear.
Okay, so 2 of you sort of vanish. Tens just strides right up. Ash
No.
a little behind Tens.
Yep.
As he's kind of going up there with Ash, he kind of leans over and whispers, I always find it funny that it's you and I together and the other two are off doing fuck all.
I hate to say it, we work well together. I don't like it, but it's a thing.
Hey, Anyway, and he just kind of
As you say that, you hear a rustling. All of you. The dead vines all around you begin to shake as inhuman shapes emerge from the vineyard. Long limbs cracking as they trudge forth through the mists and the rain as figure after figure begins to lurch out of the vines themselves, as if the very earth itself coming to life to meet you.
well, I hate this.
You're the one who
I'm gonna
got us
need
here.
everybody to roll initiative.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You're the one that got us here. Me.
There is no active encounter in my scene.
Oh, you're gonna have to wait for it.
Oh,
Hold on.
mm.
I'm gonna have to move you guys over here just so I have the room.
Just so I have the proof, he said.
All right, so approaching the vineyard, we've got Tensveta and Ash a little back, although you guys were just talking, and then where you guys, if you guys put yourself kind of where you thought you'd be
We'd have to pause the game.
while I get the rest of this set up.
Where's the front door at?
Technically, the front door's on the other side.
Okay. Then I'll just put myself up here for now.
We were approaching from the east, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
And I guess the side of the building here would probably be the closest shady spot.
As you watch these shapes begin to pour out, one after another, you're slowly that calm and voicefulness with which you're approaching the building turns to panic as you start to see these things shuffle out one after another.
Can I go ahead and ignite my sun sword?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, we got.
You guys ready?
Initiative.
Oh, yeah.
16. Wow. Got a natural 20. Jesus!
Oh,
What is happening? No!
My God.
No!
what did you do to us? Okay, good. Bye, guys. Good game. Good game.
That's so many dice.
Holy hell!
Game.
GG's,
I
my
liked
dude.
this character.
Thank God for a decent initiative roll, I guess.
So at this point, as you are all approaching, these things are still probably about 100 feet away from you.
Oh, we gotta run and break into this thing.
No. No. What we're doing is we're gonna knock on the fucking door like civilized people and say, hey, call them off.
Not quick. I get. If anything gets within 50 feet of me, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, same.
That's reasonable.
Okay. So with that, first in initiative order is Durango.
Durango is going to. I can't really see anything. He's going to creep up a little closer into the next set of shadows, get a better view, and once again disappear. If anything looks like it's going to attack him, he's got a blast ready.
Again, all these creatures seem to be shuffling towards all of you about 120 feet away still. Ash.
Yeah, I'm gonna ready the I'm gonna just kind of drop back to the building. Maybe. Can't seem to move my guy.
It says it's still Durango's turn.
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop back and stick a couple arrows in the dirt and ready an attack action. If anything comes in within 50 feet rate of the group, I'm letting fly.
All right.
Whatever evil creature, and that'll end my turn.
All right. You watch as several of them begin to pull out a little bit ahead of the pack itself, getting closer and closer. But now they're about 90 feet away, the closest ones. I'm sorry, I almost called you Hayes. Cole.
This elf's gonna get us killed, but I'm just gonna try to head. I'm still invisible, but I'm gonna run towards the front door, I guess. Yeah. So that will be over here. Like what would be
You
considered?
could say it could also be here. You know, there's an entrance here as well. All my ping things off.
I see where you are though. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move in that direction. 5, 10, 3. And actually, I'm gonna use my that'll be it. I'll just sort of like hug the wall and try to make myself as minimal as possible.
Muted.
Veta.
Yeah, no, we're going into a dead sprint. Let's see. It was 30 foot here. Bonus action dash. Accidentally hit Cole on the way by because he doesn't know he's there.
Ow, fuck.
And land at the door. Zoop. Get to the door and just start beating it rapidly and be like, "Hello, hello. We're just here to talk. We don't mean any trouble. It's just I just want to have a conversation about some wine." And if there is no answer, I'm just gonna kick the door in. Muted.
You bonus action dashed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
A
Yeah,
0.
you go to try to kick the door in, but it's just a heavy, well-built wooden door with iron banding, and you bounce right off of it and fall backwards down the stairs.
And he just kind of like gets up against it and starts beating on it again. Let me in! That's my turn.
All right. All right, creatures just continue to lumber forwards, moving one at a time, over and over and over again. They're just shuffling towards you. Now, Durango, as you see them closing in, you see these spiky, needle-like protrusions begin to grow off of them even further, like the briars on these great branches that make up their limbs, pointing towards you. Well, not you, towards Tens and Ash.
And about how far away are they at this point?
About 90 feet.
Okay. Durango's going to advance to the next set of like bushes and shadows there, and once again disappear and hold his action, ready to blast anything that looks like it's going to attack him personally.
Okay. And Ash.
Let's see, how far is that? 30. Okay. Move up here. See tens bouncing off a door. And I'm gonna let an arrow loose. At the whatever one is closest to us.
Muted.
It's about 90 feet from you, but go ahead.
I got my longbow. $18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice. Finally.
For 10 damage. Since I got multi-attack, I'm gonna follow that up with the same double arrow to the same one. 27.
27 hits.
For another 6 damage. 16
Another
total
6.
damage.
Yeah, you watch the first arrow. It pierces into the right through the wood and into this creature. As it slows down and stumbles a bit, the second one right in the head as it collapses, and the others just continue to shamble over it.
Might be time to start clearing the brush. And that'll end my turn.
All right, and as the rest begin to get a little bit closer, they They are, you guys moved a little bit further away, so they are probably 70 or 80 feet out at this point. Cole.
Watching the elf bounce his own head off a door. Tens, you're gonna hear it coming up from behind you. Out of the way! You don't see me, but I'm you know, you might be able to see like the impacts of my feet in the ground. And I'm drop kicking that door.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
It's a 13.
13. Yeah, 13's all it takes. You kick the door right at the handle, and this time the door swings open, banging against the inside as you burst through it. Inside, you see through dim light cascading to a small, dirty window. Wine bottles look like they are manufactured here, as evidenced by the tools lying about, the wooden rack full of freshly blown glass bottles, a south wall, the hearth built into the southwest corner, and a barrel of sand standing next to it. There's a staircase that descends underground, and between it and the rack of bottles stands a barred door.
A barred door. Hey, look, it's Durango.
I moved my character there, but I can't.
Yep, hold on, I'm working on it. It's open.
You gotta get it. You gotta get the turn marker to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Sorry, got quite a few of these things to get through. You know.
Oh yeah.
We don't.
Did I count right? 32.
You counted right. 31 now. Makes you feel better.
A little.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. I'll be real honest with you. It makes me feel worse. I've only got one attack.
Ooh, this. I don't know.
Yeah. Once I'm through the door, I'm just gonna shout, "All right, everyone in!"
All right, Tins is going to step into the room, quickly gather his bearings, get near the window, and kind of like do his best to look out through it. You said it was foggy, right? It's kind of hard to see through a dusty window. Okay. He's just gonna look around because, you know, Cole is still invisible. He's just going to be like,
Cole wouldn't be invisible after he kicked the door in.
That you said a strength ability check. It only goes away after attacks or spell casting.
Ooh.
It does. Technicality there, bud.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Thanks, buddy.
Should have been an attack on the door, but I'll give it to you.
I could see your argument there, but I'm not gonna push it anyway.
Moving on.
He's just gonna be like, I have oil. We can burn him. I'm at a loss. This is beyond what I anticipated.
I can't all fit through the door. We hold them off here.
Should I put my oil on the steps then?
It can't hurt. I got some oil too. We'll, you know, oil it up.
All right, he's going to pull out the flask of oil and stand near the door, but just enough to where the others can get through, and just get ready to toss the oil all over the steps. And that'll be his action and reaction for the turn. Muted.
Are you waiting for something, or is there a specific thing you're waiting for to throw the
just
oil?
Once everybody's in, I'm throwing the oil on the steps.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna look out at Ash and I'm gonna say, light a torch.
All right, Durango.
Yeah, hearing the crash of the door opening, Durango is going to dart inside, leaping over Tenzveta, pouring oil on the steps, keeping his boots dry. Gonna quickly survey the room and turn to look behind him to see if anything's following. Once again, having a blast at the ready, in case anything looks like it's gonna be hostile coming through the door.
All right, Ash.
Oh boy. And I'm gonna run into the thing. And as I run past the steps, I'm gonna snap my fingers and prestidigitation a torch on fire and light the oil as soon as that's ready.
As soon as I know that he's in, I'm smashing that flask of oil onto the steps and just covering him.
And you're so as he's doing that, you're just gonna immediately light it on fire. Ash.
That's what he said to do. That's what I'm doing.
All right, so you toss the oil. Ash tosses the and it pours down the steps. The Ash lights the fire behind you, and in the doorway, this raging fire just suddenly bursts up these stone steps. And thankfully, the building itself is stone, but it begins to char, and the heat of it begins to almost choke you inside the room as the oxygen in the room starts to get pulled out by the fire outside. But for the moment, you are safe.
Safe is a word.
Well, I mean, you just like smoked yourself out, but sure. As the creatures begin to get closer and closer now, Tens, with the door still open, you in the fire kind of obscuring your view. Suddenly, through the fire, you can hear a whooshing. Does a 10 hit?
10 does not hit.
10 does not hit. You duck quickly, and behind you, several of the glass vials explode as these sharp, pointed briars just seem to be sticking out of it, where the glass vials were sticking out of the wall.
Fuck.
All right, now I just need to do that a bunch more. Hold on.
My AC.
What's your AC? 15?
14.
14.
2.
Get lucky.
There's so many
that'll be
dice.
Initiative order.
Man, that is some luck.
It's a 7 and a 4, so you take
So
suddenly these briars just begin shooting out from outside through this, like hammering against the stone wall. These needles piercing. Several of them do catch you. You take 11 points of piercing damage
Is,
as you see
any-
through the burning and the embers. Just these massive creatures just piling into the courtyard.
If I hadn't used my action to hold an action, I'd have my reaction to have that, but I can't.
Speaking of which, they're visible at this point. Some members of the firing squad.
Yep.
Might I blast them in return?
Is it your turn?
I was holding my action to.
Oh
Eldritch
yeah,
Blast.
yeah. It's what is the range on your?
Eldritch Blast. It's like
Yeah.
120 feet.
Yeah. Go for it.
So that's a damage roll, not an attack roll. Oh no, those are 2 attack rolls. Okay, no, it's a 13 and a 17.
13 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one smashes into it. You see twigs and branches and everything just go flying as it smacks into it.
And a 12 for the second one.
Better.
A 12, yeah. And the same one that gets hit, it fires again and just explodes in a shower of twigs and brush. All right. And that'll bring us to Cole.
Close the door! Close the door!
He turns and he's got like needles sticking out of his face. He's like, "You think I want this?"
No, that's why I'm fucking closing the door. And yeah, I'm gonna. Hopefully, I didn't break it off the hinges or anything. It was a gentle kick, but
The gentle
Not
drop
enough to
kick.
break you out in invisibility, right?
sorry.
I said it wasn't strong enough to break you out of invisibility,
Right,
so I'll
yeah.
let it go. Yeah. One would say it wasn't even locked.
Fantastic. You know, kick first, ask questions later.
All right, so that you shut the door behind you, you continue to hear a bit of the those needles hitting. Are you barring the door, locking the door? What is the plan there?
Yeah, trying to. If there's anything handy, a broomstick handle, a fire poker, or whatever I could use to sort of jam this in place.
Make an investigation check.
Jesus.
Not great. 12.
12.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy. I mean, you're looking around kind of manically, but it's actually fairly easy to find one because there is a pretty significant fire and the whole thing set up for the glass blowing. So you quickly find a fire poker and you jam it into the handle on the door as these creatures begin beating on the door, attempting to get to you.
My God, look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna. I'm going to at the moment we're gonna just suspend initiative count while you guys decide what you're gonna do here. So.
I mean, the door's closed.
Yep.
So I'm gonna close the door. And I think, okay, I'm gonna ask a very honest question. Do I think I could jam the door locked with the needles that are in my face? Like just put them like jam them into the in between the door and the frame.
Wedge it shut, basically,
Yeah,
is what you're trying.
yeah.
Okay.
Make an
it
intelligence check for me.
Oh, this will go great. Very intelligent person. 20.
20. Great. You figure with the iron poker, they don't seem to be as big as they are. They don't seem to be putting a lot of force into moving the door, and they're kind of just shambling up around it. But yeah, I mean, you think you could stick some of the needles in and wedge them in to make it even more difficult.
How thick are they?
The
These
spikes
needles?
themselves,
Yeah.
maybe an inch and maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter.
That's pretty big. All right, I'll call it. We're good there. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna take the few that are in my face and in my chest, and just start and start stabbing them into the door frame, just to wedge it even more shut. Because I don't want to see them get in, and they have druid friends.
Yeah, and on that same note, Ash would have kept going into the room and gone onto this next door. Just to start clearing a little bit. At least open it up, make sure nothing else is going to come at us.
The door itself seems to be barred from the other side.
Oh, God.
Well, it's locked. Is that great?
Hey, but what kind of lock is it? Is it like locked or is it barred?
I don't know. It's not opening. Do I see a lock? Do I see like a key lock on it?
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna fail an investigation to see if there's a lock on a door. I am 4.
Or yeah, so you see the lock, but it's hard to tell if it has to do with why the door is barred, but you can tell just by trying to push on it, you feel that familiar like bump of like there being like a bar on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Durango's gonna play a quick riff on his lute and summon the spectral version of his hand on the other side of the door and start kind of like groping along, trying to find the bar to dislodge it.
Hold on, I may be able to just.
Does that require sight?
It just says a space within range, or sorry,
Okay.
it appears at a point you choose within range.
Okay, sure. And what's the weight? 10 pounds?
10 pounds. Yeah.
Okay, so you summon your hand on the other side of the door with the intent to lift a bar that is sealing it. You hear a few moments pass and then a thud on the ground.
Try the door again.
Swings open.
Okay, with an
Forward,
arrow.
my friends. I do not wish to meet with this horde of adoring fans.
And I'll check before going through. I mean, I moved my character, so
God damn it!
I would have cleared it. I would have like stepped around and at least looked at a direction. So
as you go in, right, the rich smell of fermenting wine fills this large 2-story chamber, which is dominated by 4 enormous wooden casks, each one 8 feet wide, 12 feet tall, a wooden staircase in the center of the room, right directly in front of you. Directly in front of you, climbs to a 10-foot high wooden balcony that clings to the south wall, directly above your head. 4 windows set into the balcony at the balcony level cascade a little bit of light in that shine across the room and the wooden casks and the barrels all around you. Stacked against the wall underneath, next to you, are old empty barrels with the words "The Wizard of Wines" burned into their sides. The balcony climbs another 5 feet as it continues along that west and east wall, ending at doors leading to the upper level somewhere in the winery. And underneath these sides of the balconies are several doors, some of which hang open beneath the sloping roof stretch thick rafters. Upon which scores of ravens have quietly gathered. They watch you with great interest. But as the ravens catch your eye, the balcony creaks, and pulling your eye again is a figure, a wild-looking figure, hunched over the westernmost cask, pouring a flask of thick syrup into it. She wears a gown made of animal skins and a headdress with goat horns, and her hair, long and unkempt, covered with or intertwined with sticks and leaves. Seeing you, suddenly sees something skitter across the floor. It looks like a tiny creature made of twigs, similar to the ones outside, but significantly smaller, as it moves from its hiding place under the stairs and disappears behind the easternmost cask. The figure looks down at you. And do you speak Druidic? Do you have
no, I
no.
doubt it.
She looks down and she shouts in an unintelligible language. You see, as she begins to shudder, she pours that, or empties that vial and tosses it in. And as she does, this necklace flutters about her that seems to be made of human teeth. She just stares down at you.
Readying an arrow. Any chance that you'll be able to talk this out? And I would like to, if any aggressive motion, I'm just gonna arrow the shit out of her.
Make a persuasion check.
That's invasive.
I think you need to ask permission before you do that, right?
21 on the persuasion.
Her eyes catch you, and she cocks her head just a bit, Ash, as if seeing something that maybe nobody else has seen. I don't understand what we would talk about.
Well, for starters, can you call off the things trying to beat into the house?
Why would I do that? You and your friends are here to stop us, are you not?
I mean, yeah, but also like we were here to try to like talk it out. We weren't really gonna come in with, sword swinging and anything else.
We have talked enough. For a whole lifetime, our people have talked. But it is time we make them listen.
Yeah, and what I'm all ears. What am I listening to?
Listen to the sound of the forest as it dies around you. This land is cursed, and the blood of these swine just continue to permeate its leaves and its branches.
And it's those people's outside fault that's happening?
It is all of your faults. You have ignored, you have not listened to the sound of the forest, and now you will pay.
Fucking eco-terrorist, man.
And with that, she pulls a quarterstaff from the side, lifts her hand up.
If, like I said, any aggressive move, I'm letting that arrow fly.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Hey, did Cole become visible?
I'm still invisible. And I think...
I have an idea.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going, but...
11 on the attack roll.
11.
We're back to my regular rolls. Yeah, 11.
11 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
Yeah. 7 points of piercing damage as the arrow flies. It catches her in the side, and you can see that she winces as she holds her hand goes from outstretched and casting to grasping as she yanks the arrow from her and tosses it to the side. All around you, the floor begins to skitter as those small twig-like figures begin to pour out from underneath the casks, one after another, as the room fills with these small twig-like creatures.
I'm going
And that's
to
where we'll pick up next week.
Damn it! God!
Now you got to remember your plan for next week.
Yeah, I hope you do.
It's an easy
I hope you
plan.
do. Anyways, thank you everybody for sticking in there for Curse of Strahd. Some of our players may have forgotten which module they were playing in. Too much RP, too many high skill checks.
Jesus.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. We got a game to give away. If you have not used your points, or you got 300 kicking around now, go ahead and spend them while I waste Ryan's valuable time so that you can go ahead and get those in there. Of course, we've got our dice giveaway this month. Our drawing will be tomorrow in our Cinder Stream game, where I get to torture Chuck on the other end of this thing. So that one's always
reversed.
fun.
It'll
The
be
roles are reversed. Yeah, the tables are turned. The turntables turn.
Art reveal, and I'm gonna torture you with an art reveal because it's great stuff. You'll see.
Before that, though, I don't know if anyone wants this alien game. I'm like, guys, we're giving away a free game. It's literally been myself and Chuck, I think, have entered. So we will take the game. Does anyone else want the game?
Just let us buy your love already, seriously.
Please.
It's literally the $300
Buy you
tag
for
you use
love.
to follow us. Like,
Okay. I mean, I'm.
That's all right. We'll give it away next time. So,
Yep.
No game giveaway tonight. That's all right. We'll get them next time. Darth, you've got enough. You've got enough from us.
Haven't you done enough?
Anyways, thank you everybody for showing up. Let's go to Jay. Go ahead and roll us a door. Actually, you know what? Tensveta, you got us into this mess. Roll us out of it.
Oh my god.
11.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Adrian Driggs, cosplay night with Scarlet. I know her. She's a music streamer. I think she's like a kind of a DJ.
Oh yeah, I know Scarlet. Scarlet's
Yeah.
Well, I don't, but let's go make some friends. So thanks everybody. We hope to see you tomorrow. Again, we are many of our shows are on a break, although I think we are just about getting to the point where we're going to have our Scum and Villainy game. That'll be replacing our old Nocturne by Night. So I'm super excited by that. That should be starting soon. We're just starting to get some of the assets, and the art is going to start coming in for the next season of 5 Best Friends. So we are working on that in the background still, as well as much more, including a Sinner's Dream and Curse of Strahd. And I think there's a Goat one-shot being planned. Goat Crashers. So I don't know. We're working on stuff in the background. Trust me, this break is all being productive, but for the most part, we're just super excited to get all this stuff out and get back in the swing of things once all this weird like sickness and life stuff stops happening to us. So. But at least it's happening now, right?
Yeah, get it away at the end of the year. The rest of 2020 is smooth sailing. 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you everybody again, and we'll hopefully we see you tomorrow. We'll definitely see you next Sunday. Let's go be loud. Let's go make some friends, and we'll catch you next time.
I like friends.
All right.